Hello everyone, I'm Mrs. Kajal Chaudhary. We are going to continue with the second session of arithmetic progression, lesson number 3 of Maths 1. Into the previous session, we had covered certain things, that is, what is a sequence, identification of the sequence as an AP, and to find the general term, that is Tn of an given AP. Now we are going to move towards the further concepts, that is how to find the sum of the terms of an AP, and to the word problems, that is the application part of the AP. Let's move towards the slide. The next concept is sum of first n terms of an AP. Now, as we know how to find the nth term, the general term, identification and all, now we can enter into the summing up of the or adding up of the terms of the given AP. Now, for a given AP, the general form into which an AP is written as is A plus D, A plus 2D, A plus 3D. Similarly, if we will move on, the last term is going to be A plus N minus 1D. Now, why N minus 1D? That I had explained you into the previous session. If you had observed that session carefully, you will be getting this concept. Now, sum of the n terms when we are saying, now these are the n terms of an AP. Let us add the first n terms. Now, when we will add them up, the terms can be written as A plus D, A plus 2D and A plus N minus 1D. Now, we know that the sum of the numbers, that is addition of the numbers, are commutative. Doesn't matter whether we are adding the numbers from the first number to the last number, or we are adding the numbers from last number to first number. The addition remains the same. So what we are going to do is, we can reverse and write the sum. Sn is equal to this we had written. Now, if we will write Sn is equal to the last term first plus the second last term and so on, then we will move on to the second term and the last term added up. Now, here the addition of the numbers should not change because addition is commutative. So, we have into the first equation, we have Sn is equal to addition of numbers from first term to last term of the AP. Into the second equation, we have the addition of numbers as the addition from last term to the first term. As in both the case, the additions are going to be same, so it doesn't matter how we are writing. Now, if we add up both the sequence, twice of Sn is equal to A plus N minus 1D, A plus D plus A plus N minus 2D and so on. Now, if you will observe this very carefully, you will get to know that this A is the first in the first equation and this A plus D is the first in the second equation. So, this A plus N minus 1D is this term. Similarly, if you will check the last term, this is A n minus 1D which is appearing over here and the A in the second equation is appearing over here. So, the numbers are going to be same. Now, when we will add these numbers, what are we going to get? Let's see. So, I had just written this sequence again over here so that we can get a connection as the slide is continuously moving. Now, A plus A, if you will say, what is A plus A? It is 2A. So, we can write it as 2A plus N minus 1D. Into the second addition, if you will check, we are going to have the same thing. Like this A and A is 2A, then again A plus A, if you can see, we are getting 2A over here. Again A plus A is equal to 2A, we are getting over here. A plus A is again, we are getting over here. So, if you will observe each terms every time, you can see that we are getting the same addition every time. We are getting 2A plus N minus 1. See, what did we get here? 2A plus N minus 1D. Here also we got 2A plus N minus 1D. So, this thing is going to go on and we are going to get N times this same thing over there. Because we don't know how many terms are there in the equation. Okay, so 2 of Sn, as this particular term is n number of times, we can write it as n multiplied by 2a plus n minus 1d. Therefore, what will be Sn? 2 is multiplied, na? So, Sn is equal to n upon 2 2a plus n minus 1d. So this goes as sum of the first n terms of an AP. Now into this we can apply certain more formulas using this formula itself. Let's see how. Now if Sn is equal to n upon 2, 2a plus n minus 1d. Now 2a can again be written as a plus a, isn't it? If we can write a plus a as 2a, you can obviously write 2a as a plus a. Okay. Now if you will observe, a is what? A is the first term. That is T1. Okay, and a plus n minus 1d was what? It was the last term, that is Tn. Hence, you can write Sn is equal to n upon 2 T1 plus Tn, or Sn is equal to n upon 2 first term plus the last term, because T1 is the first term and Tn is the last term. Now, depending upon which kind of data is given into the question, we can decide among these three which formula are we going to use to find the sum of the terms in an AP. Now, for example, if we look into the question, find the sum of 7, 11, 15, 9 up to 60 terms. That means we have to add 60 terms of the given AP. So 60 terms means what is going to be your n? We have to add 60 terms. Therefore, n will be 60. Now, before finding out what is the sum, we should be memorizing the formula for Sn. Sn is equal to n upon 2, 2a plus n minus 1d. We can use this formula directly because all the data can be seen given into the question. Now, your a first term is 7. Your d common difference you can find 11 minus 7, 4, 15 minus 11, 4, 19 minus 15, 4. So, your d is 4. And n is equal to 60. Why 60? Because they want you to find addition of 60 terms. If you read the question carefully, you'll get to know. Now, substitute all these values into the formula. Therefore, wherever we'll find n, we will replace it by 60. Wherever we find a, we will replace it by 7, and d will be replaced by 4. So, S60 is equal to 60 upon 2, 2 multiplied by 7 plus 60 minus 1 multiplied by 4. So, we had substituted the value. Now, we can calculate it. 60 minus 1 is 59. So, 59 multiplied by 4 and 2 multiplied by 7 is 14. Now, carry this calculation out. So, 59 multiplied by 4 is 236. Now, 14 plus 36 is going to be 250. Now, I hope why we are getting 30 over here, everybody is getting it. That is very simple. It was n upon 2. That is, it was 60 upon 2. So, you can carry out the reductions, right? 2 ones are 2. 2 3s are 6 and 0. So, we got it as 30. Now, 30 into 250, you can carry out the multiplication and we will get the value of S60 as 7,500. Okay, now we will see the second example. Find the sum of first n natural numbers. Now, first n natural numbers. First thing, natural numbers, if you people remember, the number starts from, correct, it starts from 1. And there is no end point to it. So, the lowest or the smallest natural number is 1 over here. Now, let us write down the sequence first. The first n natural numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4. And as we do not know what is going to be the last natural number, we will represent it by n. Now, what is the value of a into it? It will be 1. And what will be the value of d? You can find the difference. It is coming out to be 1 again. And your nth term is n. So, we have to find the sum of, obviously, the first natural numbers when we are saying, and if we do not know the exact value of n, your sum is going to be somewhat in terms of n itself. Let's see how. So, Sn is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3. Now, we can go on writing the numbers over there, but we won't be able to find the summation directly. So, now here we need to put the formula. Now, as we know the first term, here you can use actually the simple formula also, n upon 2, 2a plus n minus 1 multiplied by d. But right now, as we have the first term, we know the last term as n. So, we can directly write it using this formula. So, replace first term by 1 and the last term by n. So, Sn is equal to n upon 2. 1 plus n. Therefore, Sn is equal to n plus 1 upon 2. Now, I just hope you know how we got this. We had just taken the LCM over here, or we can say not the LCM. We had actually multiplied n upon 2 with 1 plus n. So, numerator multiplied with the numerator upon 2. Therefore, sum of first n natural numbers is n plus 1 upon 2. So, this was a simple one. Here, there is a problem that if we are getting n even numbers. Now, I had shown the answer directly over here as sum of the first n even natural numbers will come up to be as n plus 1. Now, let's see how we are going to reach over here. Now, when we are saying even natural numbers, even number means the numbers which are divisible by 2, or we can say they are the multiples of 2. Therefore, if the first even number is 2, then the last even number is going to be any number of n multiplied by 2. So, anything multiplied by 2 is always even. And where we have to reach? We have to reach to this particular answer. Let's see how. Your A is 2, your D is 2, and your nth term is also 2n because it's a set of even numbers. Now, sum of the numbers is 2 plus 4 plus 2n. Now, we can go on adding the numbers in between also, but there's no need right now. Now, we can again use the same formula as we have the first term as 2 and we have the nth term as 2n. Therefore, Sn is equal to n upon 2, 2 plus 2n. Okay. Now, if you will observe into this, among 2 and 2n, you can take 2 as common. So, that is what we had done over here. We had taken 2 common here. So, when we will take 2 from 2n, we are left with n. And when 2 is taken out as common from 2, we are left with 1. Now, if you will see over here, this 2 ones are 2 and 2 ones are 2. Now, what are we left with? N multiplied by n plus 1. So, this is what we had written over here. Therefore, sum of first n even natural numbers is n plus 1. Similarly, if you will be having odd natural numbers, you can also find. Now, in that case, your last number is going to be, see, any even number plus 1 will always be an odd number. So, you can use this hint in order to find sum of first n odd natural numbers. Here we are moving on to the another example. If for an AP the first term is 3 and the common difference is 6, then we have to find Sn and then S20. It is written hence find S20. That means what we have to find first? We have to find Sn first and then we will find S20. Let's move and see how we are going to get that. It is given A is equal to 3 and D is equal to 6 is given in the question. Therefore, we know the formula Sn is equal to n upon 2, 2a plus n minus 1d. Now, substitute the values over here. Replace a by value 3, d by its value 6. So, we are going to get the equation as n upon 2, 6, n minus 1 multiplied by 6. Open up the bracket. 6n minus 6. So, 6 minus 6 will become 0. So, we are going to get n upon 2 multiplied by 6n. Again, it can be reduced and I'll show you how. Now, we are having 2 1s are 2, 2 3s are 6. Now, we are left with n multiplied by 3n, which is 3n square. Now, your Sn is equal to 3n square. Therefore, now we can find S20. Your n goes as 20. So, S20 is equal to replace n by 20. 3 into 20 square. So, answer will come up to be as 1200 or 1200. Now, with this, you will be able to solve practice set 3.3. Now, in practice set 3.3, there are certain star marked question which is dealing or demanding another concept over there. I'll just introduce the concept. Before that, we will complete question number 5 of your textbook. It is given on page number 72. Question number 5 is complete the activity to find sum of natural numbers between 1 and 140 which are divisible by 4. Now with me, you people can also complete it into your notebook, into your textbook. Write it down in the book itself using pen or pencil, whatever is available with you. So, the first bracket or the first box of the flow chart says numbers between 1 and 140, the natural numbers divisible by 4. So when it is divisible by 4, of course, the list is going to start from 4. So 4, 8, then again multiplied by 4, then again multiplied by 4. We are going to go that way. Okay. Now, here, if n is equal to, how many numbers we have to find now? So this is going to be the question mark. We have to find how many. So n is equal to what? Now here we have to write Tn. What is the last member? Tn means the last term. So what we are going to have in this box? We are going to have 136. What is your first term, which is going to be your value of A? That is 4. See, because I have a lesser space, so I am writing it outside the box. You people can write it in the box directly. Your value of D goes as 4. So the difference is coming out to be as 4. Now they had given you the formula of Tn. Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1D. So into the next, they expect you to write the values. So 136 is equal to 4 multiplied by n minus 1 and value of D again, that is 4. Now you are going to solve this complete equation. Which equation? You are going to solve this equation and you will be getting the value of n at this particular step. So I am directly giving you the value. N is equal to 34. See, we had already solved this Tn into the practice set 3.2. So I am leaving this equation on you to solve. So n is equal to 34. Now here Sn is equal to n upon 2, 2a plus n minus 1d. Now we have the value of n, we have value of a, we have value of d. We are going to substitute into this particular formula. Now they want us to substitute it over here. So what is n? 34. So this box will contain 34. Hence it becomes S34 is equal to, it is n upon 2, right? So this becomes 34 upon 2. And within the bracket, when you will substitute 2a plus n minus 1 multiplied by d, you are going to get it as 140 in the bracket. You can check it by solving. We had learned how to do it right now with few examples. Now when you will carry out this complete calculation, in this box you are going to get 2380 as the answer. Therefore, sum of numbers from 1 to 140 which are divisible by 4 are 2380. Okay, so this is one of the activity given into your book. The next concept I would like to introduce, which is dealing with the star marked questions of this exercise. That is another star mark, which is question number 6. Sum of the first 55 terms of an AP is 3300. Find the 28th term. See, we have been provided with sum of 55 terms. That is S55 is given. And what they want us to find 28th term. That is they want T28. Fine. So S5 is 3300. So using this, we have to find certain values which can be used to find 28th term of the AP. So we know Sn is equal to n upon 2, 2a plus n minus 1 d. Now anybody can identify into this question that what is n? How many terms are added? That is n. So how many terms are added? 55. So this goes as the value of your n. Okay. So S55 is equal to 55 upon 2, 2a plus 55 minus 1 multiplied by d. We had just replaced n by its value. So 3300 is equal to 55 upon 2, 55 minus 1 is 54. So we are getting 2a plus 54d into the bracket. Now from 2a and 54d, between these two terms, we have 2 as a common factor. So we just took 2 out. And we are left with 2a plus 27d. Now 3300 upon 55 is equal to a plus 27d. What did we do? 55 was multiplied over here. So it is going to get divided onto the other side. Therefore, now it is 3300 divided by 55. If you will do, you are going to get 60. This goes as your first equation. Now let us see the second term. Also, we know the formula as Tn is equal to A plus N minus 1D. Now let's substitute whatever values we have right now. We were supposed to find T28, that means N28. N is equal to 28 was supposed to be calculated. So T28 is equal to A plus 28 minus 1, that is 27D. Now, if we'll compare both the equations, first equation said A plus 27D is equal to 60. You must have written it down. I don't have it onto this slide. It was on the previous one. Second equation says T28 is equal to A plus 27D. Therefore, T28 is equal to 60. So, what is going to be the 28th term of this particular sequence? The 28th term is going to be 60, and the sum we had written over there, it was given in the question as 3300. Now there are particular terms in an AP. Let's see, if we have to use 3 consecutive terms, then it is always A minus D, A plus D. If it is 4 consecutive terms, we are going to use A minus 3D, A minus D, A plus D, A plus 3D. And if it is 5 terms, then it is A minus 2D, A minus D, A plus D, and A plus 2D. Into the 4 consecutive terms, if you had observed, the difference, common difference is going to be of 2. It's not the common difference of 1. We had assumed it to be common difference of 2, and along with it, we can move on with the exercise. For this particular question, there is a hint given in your exercise also, and you can use that hints also, and you can use this 4 consecutive terms in order to find the answer. Find 4 consecutive terms in an AP such that the sum of middle 2 terms is 18 and product of the 2 end terms is 45. Let's see how we can solve this. Let 4 consecutive terms, I had shown you into the previous slide, A minus 3D, A minus D, A plus D, A plus 3D. Now it is said sum of middle 2 terms. So middle 2 terms are A minus D and A plus D is 18. So we are going to write it as A minus D, A plus D. Now, if you will open up the bracket, A minus D plus A plus D. So minus D plus D is 0. A plus A is 2A is equal to 18. So A will come up to be as 9 over here. Okay. So now we have been provided with the second condition, which is saying product of the end 2 terms. So which was A minus 3D and A plus 3D. Here we are going to apply the identity, which is A minus B, A plus B is equal to A square minus B square, and using that, if you will open it up, we are going to get it as A square minus 9D square is equal to 45. Now, if you will substitute the value of A, which you had found in equation number 1, A square, 9 square becomes 81 minus 9D square is equal to 49. We are going to solve for D. Now steps we are very much clear with how to solve the particular given equation. So your D square comes up to be as 4, which is 36 divided by 9. So D is equal to plus or minus 2. Now by putting A is equal to 9 and D is equal to plus 2 first, we have D. 2 values for D, plus 2 and minus 2. So we will check what's the sequence looks like. If it is plus 2, the sequence starts from 3, then 7, then 11, then 15. Whereas if your D is going to be minus 2, then your sequence turns up to be as 15, 11, 7 and 3. You can check it out. Okay, substitute the values of A and D into the 4 terms which we had assumed, and we are going to get the answer. Now we are going to move towards the application of an AP, which is basically the word problems. Into the word problems, we need to identify certain key terms, whether they had given TN or they had given SN. So I will explain few examples. A man repays a loan of 3250 by paying 305 in the first month and then decreases the payment. Now when it is decreasing, that means it is going to be negative. So let's see how will he take to clear his loan. Now let the time required to clear his loans be n months. So payment done in the first month will be the first installment, that is the first term of the AP, 305. Decrease in installment, that is going to be in every month. Therefore, the common difference is going to be that decrease in installment, which is given as 15. Now, as it is decreasing, therefore, minus 15. If it will be increasing, then plus 15. Now sum is given that he is repaying by 3250. That is the total amount which he is going to pay back. So that goes as the sum. Okay, now we know the formula of Sn is equal to n upon 2. Now substitute the values over here. Sn is equal to 3250. Value of A as 305, that is 305. Value of D as minus 15. Now n upon 2. So 2 was divided over here. So we can move it on to the other side and we can multiply. This 610 is 2 multiplied by 305. And this is when we are opening the bracket. So minus 15 multiplied by n is minus 15n. And minus 15 multiplied by minus 1 is 15. Now let us solve the equation. It will become 625 minus 15n. You can operate the terms over there. So now when you open the bracket, for opening it up, you have to multiply n in the bracket. So 625n minus 15n square. Therefore, now let's take all the terms onto the one side. Now this is a quadratic equation and we had learned in detail how to solve the quadratic equation into the previous chapter. So you are going to solve it. I'm not explaining it right now over here. Yeah, I'll explain you this step. Into this step, what we did is, as all the three terms in the equation number 1 were having a common factor as 5. So we reduced it by 5. Okay, now I had just split it up. 125 is equal to minus 60n minus 65n. You know how to do it. Now from the first two, we will take 3n common. From the next two, we will take 65 common. Therefore, n minus 20, 3n minus 65. So, equated to 0. That is how we were solving quadratic. And hence, we are getting two values, but n never be rational. It cannot be a decimal positions. It is either a whole number or no position. Therefore, the value of n will always be in this particular equation. We will discard 65 upon 3 and we are going to keep 20 as the perfect number of terms over there. Now we will try one question from your practice set 3.4, which I felt is a very common pattern which is being asked into the board exams. Rest of the questions you can try. Practice set 3.4, question number 4, you can refer from your textbooks. There is an auditorium with 27 rows of seats. There are 20 seats in the first row, 22 in the second, 24 in the third, and so on. Find the number of seats in the 15th row. 15th row means we have to find in the n is equal to 15 row. And also find how many total seats are there in the auditorium. That means total means Sn. So let's see how we can find. So 20 seats in the first row, 22 in second, 24 in third. Therefore, the sequence goes as 20, 22, 24 and so on. So the difference between the consecutive terms comes out to be 2. So therefore, the seats are going to be arranged into there in an AP. Now the number of seats in first row is 20. So the first member is the first term of the AP. So A is equal to 20. So number of seats in the 15th row. So to T15 we have to find. Substitute the values in the formula. Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1D. So we get T15 is equal to 20 plus 15 minus 1 multiplied by 2. And when you are going to solve this equation, now you know how to solve it. Everybody should be comfortable. Therefore, T15 is equal to 48. So there are 48 seats in the 15th row. Now let's see what will be the total number of seats. So total number of seats in 27th row. So n is equal to 27 now. Okay, so Sn is equal to n upon 2, 2a plus n minus 1d. We have a, we have n and we have d. Substitute all the values. S27 is equal to 27 upon 2. 2 into 20, 27 minus 1 multiplied by 2. So this comes up at 26 minus 2. And 2 into 20 is 40. That we know now. Okay. So now let us solve the bracket. We are going to get 40 plus 52 over here. So S27 is equal to 27 upon 2 multiplied by 92. 92, how come? 40 plus 52. Now you can reduce it. 2 ones are 2 and 92 can be reduced as 46. So you can carry out that division and check. Now when you will, S27 is equal to 1242. What was S27? Total number of seats in 27 rows. Therefore, there are 48 seats in the 15th row and total 1242 seats in the auditorium. With this, we are going to end up the session. With this, we wind up this particular lesson, that is arithmetic progression, lesson number 3 of Maths 1. Keep trying the questions. Thank you.